Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be checking out GeoffCastellucci's most recent cover of Elvis Presley's Blue Christmas. Of course, this is a low bass singer cover because Geoff is just about as low as it gets on the bass spectrum. Guys, do you recognize the sweater I'm wearing? The real ones will recognize the sweater and can guess why I'm wearing it for this particular video, this particular song. If you know, leave a comment below. I don't want to hesitate too much, guys. I love Geoff. I love his music. I've done a full interview with Geoff, which I'll link here or here. I don't know where it's going to pop up. Really great chatting with this man one-on-one, hearing about his whole process. He's one of the greats right now. I'm still shocked he's not at 1 million subscribers yet. He totally deserves it. He never misses. He's super creative. And it's always just an honor to be able to sit down, listen to him, and analyze his voice. So hope you guys enjoy this. Let's go ahead and get into it. Leave a like, leave a comment, all that good stuff. Check out my Patreon, and let's check out Geoff's most recent cover of Blue Christmas.
I'll have a blue Christmas without you. I'll be so blue just thinking about you. Decorations of red on a green Christmas tree won't be the same if you're not here with me.
Dude, it's so crazy how easy these low notes sound in his voice. He's singing all the way down to low B's, like B1. This is first octave. This is like below the, the fabled bass low C, the C2. Where like if you've got a good C2, you will be the most sought after bass in any choir or ensemble you join. And here Geoff is singing a half step lower than that. It's just like he makes it, it's just so just there and right in his wheelhouse. Now, I think he usually does his low bass singer stuff like all of us with good morning voice, right? But this is the range he's singing in now is something he could do all day for sure. I would think Geoff has probably, in pure chest, at least an A, 24/7, B flat A, maybe lower some days, right? But B for sure. So, this is something Geoff could sing, any time of the day, vocal fatigue or not. So, and you can tell it's just so easy for him. And if you listen to his speaking voice, he will relax his way down pretty much about this low just in his speaking range, truly with no effort whatsoever. As always, he's opting for a nice smooth delivery of tone, right? He's not over enunciating anything. He's just allowing that air to flow, allowing that breath to flow, creating that nice, gentle, warm tone, like he's bathing the sound in warm air. That's what my voice teacher used to talk about in my master's program. Bathing the sound in warm air when you want to get a nice free-flowing, sound with no tension and just warmth. You're not going for a cutty, bitey sound. So that's totally what we're getting from Geoff here. Always opting for that legato singing line. It's why his voice is so easy and soothing to listen to.
I'll have a blue Christmas without you. I'll be so blue just thinking about you.
He lets that thinking kind of fall off at the end there, just adding a little bit of Geoff loves to do scoops in the beginning, and he loves to let notes fall off at the end. And it just makes it so there's a little more movement, a little more life in his covers. Right now we've just got acoustic guitar in the background and Geoff's solo vocal, no harmonies, no nothing. So to kind of keep the line interesting beyond his voice just sounding awesome and bassy, it's nice to add these flares here and that little vocal fry scoop or a little scoop and a little kind of sigh at the end of phrases are, great ways to do this.
you. I'll be so blue just thinking about you. Decorations of red on a green Christmas tree won't be the same if...
That's a good example. Won't. Starting, way below the actual starting pitch for the note he's about to sing and kind of scooping or even flipping in a way up into it. Almost just like jumping a gap, not even scooping, but there's actually like won't. If you do that on the high end of your chest range, you call that a hook. There's this funny phrase in opera called hook, push, and pray, usually for tenors, where they are going for a huge high note, and instead of going straight for it, they'll go ha ha, and they'll like hook their way into it, and then the push is if the note's not coming, you just push harder, and then you pray for it to happen. It's obviously a joke on having good technique, but sometimes if you're going for a high note, you gotta hook, push, and pray. We're of course not getting this in Geoff's range because the hook, push, pray is really only used when going for a super high note a super high belt essentially in chest voice. But right here, no problem whatsoever.
Won't be the same if you're not here with me. And when those blue snowflakes start falling, that's when those blue memories start calling, and you...
Nice. So we get a little percussion here, almost like a tss, in addition to the guitar, a little more movement in the guitar. We do have some harmonies now, and Geoff's varying up the melody a little bit. So far, he's put a couple riffs in, right, little runs, and he's also adding a couple extra low Bs in there because it's Geoff.
And when those blue snowflakes start falling,
yeah, so we just got some oohs happening.
Blue memories start calling.
So just adding like a little riff in there again, just adding interest, adding Geoff's own little flair into the sound as opposed to just singing, the very standard melody. Great thing to do in a cover song. Something I would always expect Geoff to do. Like, I'm telling you, the guy does not miss. The guy does not miss with his arrangements.
Memories start calling, and you'll be doing all right with your Christmas of white, but I'll have a blue Christmas.
Oh, so far the background is just oohs. We've got oohs, we've got acoustic guitar, we've got a little bit of light percussion happening, and we have Geoff's solo voice in the middle, and right here in the middle of the mix where the oohs are panned out to the sides. I've been talking more about this lately because I have such a big history in music production. You guys seem to be enjoying these kind of music production little tidbits. So panning, if you haven't heard before, is when an audio engineer or a mixing engineer will send certain sounds away from the center where you hear it and towards the left and right ears. And this clears up space for you to hear usually a solo vocal line. If he didn't pan, then all of these vocals, all the harmonies would be right here with the solo, and it would just, you would still be able to hear everything, but you wouldn't be able to hear the detail in the voices nearly as well. And when you're trying, this is not a song where you need to be, clearing out tons of EQ and packing stuff in like you would for a heavy electronic production where you want maximum volume and efficiency and clarity. For pieces like this, the mixing is actually much more simple generally. You just don't have to do as much to make everything fit. But panning is absolutely essential if you're going to have solo vocal line plus harmonies. You've got to have some panning going on. So we get that with the harmonies. Also, shout out to Geoff. Dude is looking like he's been hitting the gym extra lately. I see those shoulders, Geoff. I see that chest. Keep hitting the gym, my guy. Bases who lift together live forever. So basically, Geoff and I need to work out sometime. Anyway, pay attention to kind of where things are in the mix as you're listening to all kinds of music. It's actually fascinating to hear kind of where engineers decide to put things. You can any genre of music. So check that out. You'll notice that a ton in voice play as well.
Blue, blue, blue Christmas.
And then there's like a chorusing effect, and like a stereo widening effect, sort of, so where the voice starts right in the middle and then kind of like in a way reverbs out. So it almost sounds like it's going from a very small space into like a bigger space. This is not an effect you usually hear done in this way. Usually it would be applied to an entire vocal line, not, just towards the end of a line. So that's actually a pretty cool effect.
Blue, blue Christmas. It's Christmas time, darling, and I'm missing you something fierce. I may have treated you poorly, but I never meant to chase your love away. And now I realize that I hurt you, and my transgressions are numerous. For example, I can now admit that you were right. Setting fire to my truck was indeed an appropriate response to me arriving home late from work. I needed a new one anyway. And in retrospect, giving away my dog was the right choice. Taking him for walks was occupying a lot of time that I could have been spending with you.
Okay, this is not... Of course, like, I swear, every arrangement Geoff does, he does something that I just totally don't expect. This absolutely did not expect it. Now, this is a super short song originally, so this is totally could be a technique to lengthen it, just like... Let's just lengthen the song out, right? So it's not just like 2 minutes long. The song would basically already be over. Also adding the Geoff flair. It's funny because he can come across as a really serious guy in some of his videos. But if you talk to him, if you watch the interview I had with him, he's a fun guy. He likes to goof around and have a good time with music despite working really hard at it and being really disciplined about arrangements and recording and keeping the schedule. Shout out to Kathy who does a lot of the scheduling for Geoff and for voice play. But Geoff's a fun guy. He likes to have fun. He loves music. And so he'll do things like this where he's got this like so serious sounding like bass voice, but then just adds an element of comedy into some of his covers. And this is just a great example of that. I'm not going to go back and listen to the whole thing, but yeah, again, just a testament to his creativity and kind of what he's willing to do in a cover.
To me arriving home late from work. I needed a new one anyway. And in retrospect, giving away my dog was the right choice. Taking him for walks was occupying a lot of time that I could have been spending with you. Also, it does make perfect sense in hindsight that you were just testing out the bed sheets with my best friend Bill. You know I have sensitive skin, and that was mighty thoughtful of you.
That took a whole turn I was not expecting. Wow, brutal. Geoff's character is getting absolutely worked in this Christmas special. That's funny. In the background, we got a nice walking bass line. We have some what's supposed to be like a pedal steel sound. Probably not a real pedal steel is very difficult to play, and fewer people are doing it. Shout out to my boy George in Nashville, who's like, he's been working on the pedal steel for a couple years, and he's becoming like the only young guy in Nashville that knows the pedal steel. Really hard instrument, and I know Geoff uses plugins and stuff in his software to create a lot of these sounds, which sound really good actually. Like they're good samples, and there's good processing and programming there, but it does really give that country feel. Also, Geoff's adding a little more country twang to this than I think he has naturally. This is good stuff.
Hindsight that you were just testing out the bed sheets with my best friend Bill. You know I have sensitive skin, and that was mighty thoughtful of you. But it's the holidays, baby, and I desperately need you because I need your love, and I need you to let me back into the house. You locked me out and took my keys, honey, and it's starting to snow. It's getting a little cold. You'll be doing alright with your Christmas of white, but I'll have a blue Christmas.
So in standard Geoff fashion, we get the high octave solo at some point. Now in a lot of his videos, we would also get the classic, section where you'll have the three other Geoffs who are normally doing the BG parts, BG meaning background, and they'll take over the solo lyrics while singing harmonies together, and then the Geoff solo will come back in. It looks like this is just one Geoff that we're seeing in this video, which is maybe a first. No, I guess Blackbird, he would have done that. There are a few others he's done that as well. But the kind of Geoff video we're used to is where it's usually four Geoffs, one solo and three kind of background Geoffs. And usually there's a section where they take over the solo in harmony. But we don't get that here. We hear them. We hear the other Geoffs, but it remains just the one Geoff.
Right with your Christmas of white.
And he's got the country twang really helps actually to get the voice forward. It's a nice. I remember doing we did an entire opera on Cold Mountain, the book, the movie. Yes, it is actually an opera now, and I sang Ruby's father, and did the whole, the whole show in a proper country accent. And it was really helpful in opera to get that cut in the sound, to get that bright forward placement. As long as you can maintain that while maintaining all the space you need, then you get this beautiful chiaroscuro sound, this bright sound and dark sound at the same time. And country music is great for that. So Geoff's got a really nice forward placement here, and it's really popping out in his upper range.
You'll be doing all right with your Christmas of white, but I'll have a blue, 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 blue Christmas. You'll be doing all right with your Christmas of white, but I'll have a blue, 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 blue Christmas.
Oh, that's great.
Hey y'all,
Wow.
Thanks for watching, and happy holidays. I appreciate every last one of you, and of course the lion's share of my gratitude goes out to my Patreon community who continue to indulge my musical
Shout out
whims.
to Patreon.
Special shout out goes to
Patreon's
Aldra
huge.
Draco, Mythos Myths, Helen Anderson, Diane Holland, Sarah O, Lori Templeman, Laura Mueller, Debbie Goodling, Jordy S, Barb Wells,
I recognize some of these names.
Angie Woolard, Carl and Melanie Thomas, Alsha M. Lagnestall and Dorothy Brune, and Debs Badger. Thanks again for watching. Stay safe out there. Have a great holiday, and I'll see you next year.
Yeah. Awesome. This is cool. And something I actually love. I actually love when Geoff doesn't throw any huge low notes. Like, the song is already so bassy with all these low Bs. He probably even dipped a little bit lower in some of those vocal scoops. But, I was thinking, maybe he would do something crazy at the end and drop way down. I'm glad he didn't. Because then then the next cover he releases, then we're kind of waiting for it, as opposed to just being like, we love it every time, but there is an element of getting used to hearing. If you get used to an extreme, it no longer feels like an extreme. So even like these low Bs, like, guys, it is not normal for a bass singer to have low Bs that sound like this easy, like, right, just here it is, here you go. Not normal. Even for bass singers, you have to be a very low bass singer for your Bs to sound like that. But we're so used to Geoff doing freakish stuff that we might be like, this cover wasn't very low. It's like, it wasn't very low for Geoff, but extremely low for not only the, regular singer population, but even the bass singer population. This is very low. It was awesome. I love the bit in the middle, just adding that fun, creative flair. Like, so good for the holidays. I'm sorry for this character who is just getting absolutely worked by this person. Like, absolutely brutal. But also really funny, adding a nice comedic flair. So that was really where he used the creativity. which Geoff always does. It was really that middle kind of comedic section. So really fun. Definitely, I was already in a good mood. This got me in an even better mood for the day. So shout out to Geoff. Huge fan of everything he does. And thanks for watching, guys. Please do like, subscribe, leave a comment for the algorithm, hit the bell, and of course, join my Patreon as well. After you've supported Geoff, consider joining my Patreon if I have enhanced your Geoff experience. And yes, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. I'll see you guys very soon. Bye-bye.